money, somewhere sunny and tan. Foreign women in the sun, yeah. That's all that I need. That's all that I need. That's all that I need. Got my brothers with me. Got my brothers with me and my mama's healthy. That's all that I need.
G'day everyone and welcome to the Insight NBA and FBI Basketball International Crossover Show. I'm one of your regular hosts, Matty G. Kingy is dead. Long live the king. In his place is bdub, our man hidden upside. How you doing, man?
What's going on, man? Going well? Good to be
here. I'm going well until the cat decides to she's like, what are you doing? And this is it's a little bit of Kingy coming because his cats frequently just jump up randomly. So I'm just like, go and good cat day, man. How's your NBA season starting off? Are you as excited as I am?
Oh, mate, it's such a long build-up to the season start. I think, for us or for me, almost starts in like July. Start rolling out the draft-only leagues.
Yep.
Had like 100 of those. Then we roll into the dynasty drafts. And then it's all the redrafts and the World Cup. So such a big build-up to the start of the season. And it's almost like an anti-climax when it comes along.
I'm not going to lie. I felt a little bit disappointed today. I was like, oh, geez, I still haven't seen some guys yet and I can't see everything at once. It was nice, the two games. Wasn't it nice just having those two opening games the other day with Jason Tatum being the best player in fantasy to start the year off? Obviously, cracking, rip-roaring start for the Boston Celtics. Just rolling into a couple of really big games. But today, massive. This is where you've really got to start. On top of it, we're going to get down to that in the show. We're going to talk about guys who have started off well. We're going to also talk about guys who people will start to hit the panic button about because, there's those kind of narratives. But injuries, mate, today, big one. DeJounte Murray going down with the hand injury. As someone who's dealing with a wrist injury right now, I'm telling you, the guy is out 6 to 8 weeks at least.
What happened to you, mate?
This was from a soccer game versus year 12 students at school. I was goalie and I didn't have gloves, and they're very good at the kicking of the ball hard. So that's me out, mate.
Excuse not to write on the chalkboard now.
I'm right-handed. I should have switched it up and I couldn't do it.
But DeJounte, I think that's obviously a blow for the Pels, a blow for all the DeJounte drafters. I think he was going around that 35 to 40 mark. So take him with your third or in the early fourth round. Not irrecoverable, but I think he was going to be sort of rolling you out almost triple dubs every single night. I think he went underdrafted, honestly. So if you took him on your team, it's a bit of a blow. And I wonder who it really sort of boosts up. It's a bit of CJ.
A lot of CJ.
Maybe a bit of Gordon Hawkins. It sort of resolves. They had that sort of six-man starting rotation. Well, not starting rotation, but those six guys that were going to be getting a lot of minutes. It sort of frees up a bit of minutes for the rest of the other guys. Still haven't sorted anything out at center, although I think Missy played all right tonight. But opens up a bit of time for some of the other guys to get a bit of run. But if you
Brandon Ingram especially too. That's because Zion was out, man. Brandon Ingram really had to get some burn. So it was like a really weird Pelicans lineup. I don't know what we can get from it apart from Missy, good, CJ up, Brandon Ingram, obviously hot start. I mean, if there's a sell high window on a bubble of Brandon Ingram, it's probably going to be now. I'm going to make him my first sell high player for the season. I think while he's getting run and DeJounte's out and he's not traded to another team yet, and they do whatever they want in Pelicans land. I'm thinking this is definitely one of the guys. Sky Miller, shout out to you, Sky. Tatum, best player? Yeah, absolute gun. Absolute.
You know,
and
friend of FBI, old Sky.
Is she? I haven't met Sky in chat yet. And then she goes, AD says hi.
Her mate Wayno as well. Pretty avid fan as well. Good to see you guys on the pod.
Yeah, lovely to see you stopping on by. AD does say hi. AD was an absolute jet. Let's talk about one of the other guys who currently is probably, after today, one of the best. Oh, look, this was the fun part last season. This is the time where people start to add people in leagues because of the time kicking over across it. So Chris Boucher got a cheeky ad then on the Yahoo.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
tell you what, I'm not rushing to add him, mate.
You're not going to rush to add him?
No. Why? Who's Chris Boucher stepping in for? Do you reckon?
He only got minutes for Olynyk. He only got minutes because Olynyk sat today.
Yeah. I think one of the themes maybe for this show is going to be don't panic.
Yep.
Some of the guys that you think are going to perform well, they don't for the first game. Don't drop them. Don't trade them. On the flip side, there's a few random big performances.
Yep.
You probably don't need to run off and trade for them. You don't need to pick up Chris Boucher off the wire.
Yep.
No, depends how your leagues are set up.
I just did I'm going to grab it in chat and I'll put it in here for those who just said that, because this is one of the big things. Here we go. I'll put that back out there. This was an episode just did about 5 keys to success. So for all of those who about learning on panic trading and panic things like that, don't panic. It's just like literally the first 2 days of the NBA season. But because we love narratives, bdub, like you're like me, we hear all of this stuff. People saying that this guy's shit in chat. We're in so many group chats. The amount of shit that Mikal Bridges took the other day was like, look, let's he's ranked outside the top 150. And I've got up the last ADP data here. On your point as well, people invested around a 38th pick in DeJounte Murray. He was 41 on ESPN, 35 on Yahoo, and 36 on Fantrax of all places. But Mikal Bridges was seen as one of the guys. His final places ended up as 53 overall. He ended up on ESPN as the 59th best player. He skyrocketed it up to 53 on Yahoo and 57 on Fantrax, his final ADP value. He starts the season, he starts the first half, not hitting a shot, basically. This is a guy who gets beaten up a lot when he doesn't play well. So here's like a really nice, if this happens again in game 2, you'd almost say that he creeps into the buy low window for a panicked guy in the first week of the league.
Oh,
which you shouldn't do.
Drop him. He's had a poor first game. Just get rid of him.
So are you the first guy on the waiver wire on all your leagues, bdub? Are you sitting there going, free Mikal Bridges to pick up? Thank you very much.
Yeah, no, that's right. Don't panic. Poor first game. He's starting with a new team, shaking off the dust. Wouldn't worry about it. I think 50 in the 50s is maybe a bit high, honestly. Going on that New York team, expecting him to revert to his like Phoenix days or when he just moved over to Brooklyn. I think that was pretty much a tall order. Didn't really see that happening again, but yeah, I think he's going to be better than this.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. Let's go through a couple of other guys. Who's been for the start of the season? I'm going to give you some performers, and you tell me hot or not, or not even hot or not, or like why is it sustainable, maybe why it's not sustainable, and why you shouldn't buy it if someone's going to try and throw him in a trade. Because my default position is stuff off. If someone's sending me a trade straight away with a guy who I know has performed really well, I know that they're instantly, my default position is just selling high. Like it hasn't been any conversation. It pops up in your trade feed immediately. You're like, what's this that bdubs sent me? And
you only like to make trades before the season starts, as far as I
do.
Yeah.
I do. I made a hell of a trade, but I didn't know it was going to be that good. But I've done so many bloody AD builds. I thought, you know what? This is industry pickup. It's going to be competitive as shit. I'm going to go with a guy who I really think could be a top 5 guy this year. And I got sniped by one pick. And old mate before me didn't know what he wanted. So I hit him up on the DMs because we were slow drafting before I made my pick. I said, look, I've got the next pick. Who would you want if I take him? And I will take whoever you say. And he was like, I should have taken he goes, I should have taken Tyrese. I wanted to take Tyrese. And I'm like, well, then I'll draft Tyrese. I'll do Tyrese Halliburton and I'll send him to you for AD. And so I strategically then drafted the rest of that draft knowing that I was getting AD back at the end. So that was kind of fun. I've never done a draft like that where I've just been completely like, Jesus, how am I going to do this? But no one else knows what I've got planned in the league. It was a lot of fun.
Well, I know we're sort of going off track here, but that industry pickup draft, I got pick 12. I think pick 12 is like usually I don't mind it being on that turn, but this year it was tough, very tough. no sort of quality contributors to build around. So I ended up building out a punt points, punt threes, punt free throw team. And
that sounds to me like you were punting your sanity from the very first pick.
I was doing my best Adam King impression. Yeah,
it is your very best Kingy. If you're not punting at least 4 categories, you're not playing fantasy basketball.
Well, it's top 6 make it through to the playoffs, and I played in that industry pickup league last season. It's you gotta finish in the top half of the table just to make it into the final. So that strong punt it's a risk.
It is, but it's a sweaty league as well. And let's touch back on that one. This is a guy who was going around. I loved picking up LaMelo Ball in the second round of drafts. Some of my very early drafts, one of my friends hit me up today and was like, man, I fucking should have got LaMelo. And I was like, yeah, I was picking up LaMelo Ball before he played in the preseason, before he was wearing, we heard the rumors of ankle braces, which was great because we're old. We know that they work. And so I was picking him up around pick 24. So if I had pick 1 or 2 or 3, man, there was times that I was being able to pick up LaMelo Ball in the second round, late. And then bring him back around.
I passed on him, took that 12-13 turn. I took some Barnes and left Ball on the board. And I could have taken Curry Ball. That was the other option I was considering. It would have been an easier build. Punt, field goal, punt turnover. That would have been good. But no, I'm burned by Ball. I'm steering clear. So it's just been even when he full seasons for me over the last few years.
So even when he rips out a stat line like today,
you're just give him a big clap. Let me see you do it. Let's check back in on Christmas Day and see where you are, LaMelo.
You mean playing basketball? Quite hopefully.
Yeah. Are you on the court? Are you still sort of putting up any stat lines? At that point in the season?
I do like the 38 minutes for him. It was probably necessary. I guess the other injury news apart from DeJounte, though, was the hip of Brandon Miller got done in the game. He didn't return to action, so he is apparently day-to-day or a game-time decision for the Charlotte Hornets moving forward. Good to see Nick Richards getting some burn out there for those who just picked him up randomly. Look, he does what Nick Richards does. 6 points, could have done some more. 8 rebounds, a couple of blocks in there to pepper the stat line. One of the ones that I was interested in, and I thought I'd get your thoughts, was Arman Thompson today. The 22 minutes was good. Jalen Green. This is the most Jalen Green game. B you could get 28 points, 0 assists. Is there anything more Jalen Green than not getting an assist in your stat card?
Well, look, I think him being so integral to the offense, getting a lot of minutes. It was always going to happen. I actually think it's quite. I think it's quite encouraging. I know it's a Jalen Green stat line, but he really turned it on in that sort of period after the All-Star break last year.
He did.
I think he's, in previous seasons he's done that, and he wasn't able to pick it up again to start the next season. This year he has, he sort of got paid, and I don't know, good to see 28 points from him straight off the bat. I think that bodes well for old Jalen. Going back to Nick Richards, I think that's pretty pedestrian. Grant Williams, I think, played a good, strong defensive game. Didn't really put up a lot of stats, but I wouldn't be surprised that he is the center, or he plays a lot of that sort of those center minutes and is sneaky while Charlotte is banged up. And I do think you're going to get value out of LaMelo, out of Bridges, and Trey Mann also had a good game.
Love Trey Mann. Yeah, I picked him up in the last pick at a draft. I thought he had a really good preseason. And I thought maybe this is their spark plug, like a little Lou, like a Lou Will type, just the guy who'd come off and just put up some points really, really quickly. Because points are shit hard to find at the last couple of picks of the draft. You just praying that Rob Dillingham all of a sudden becomes and Edwards goes down and a bloke like that comes in and needs to score 25 points a game. So I think Trey Mann has a role in that one. I know we're skipping all over the league, but when I think about these guys and I think about their stat lines and things like that, or narratives, and we were just talking about LaMelo Ball, Lonzo Ball came to my mind. And I'm just saying, how good was it to see Lonzo Ball getting back out on the court? Now, look, this was in the game for the Chicago Bulls. They lost to the depleted New Orleans Pelicans, which tells you the state of affairs for the Chicago Bulls this year. These guys are going to fucking take heart at a point, I reckon. Like, it's just someone's going to go down with a groin or a penis enlargement surgery that goes wrong, or some random story is going to come out of Chicago. Josh, but Lonzo Ball today playing 13 and a half minutes. This is good. 500 from the field, out there shooting threes, 5 points, 2 rebounds, 4 assists. These are good things. None of the defensive stats that he can rack you up, obviously, bdub, but it's just good to see him playing basketball again.
Lonzo, yeah, good to see him out on the floor. I don't necessarily put a lot of stock in him even being a normal league contributor. I mean, what was the stat line today? 5-6 points, couple of rebounds, 4 assists. I think that's a good Lonzo Ball night moving forward, honestly.
Yeah.
It's not really going to push up anything further than that. I was pretty warm on Ayo Dosunmu. All off season. He was a popular pick for me, last pick of the draft. It's a bit disappointing to see him sort of put up a bit of a pedestrian stat line. I think Giddy as well. I took him pretty high in a lot of drafts, like around about that 60 mark. Yeah, probably got him in 50% of my leagues, which I always know means I'm higher on him than others. So I wasn't satisfied with that line, 5, 3, and 14. Thought that was a little bit below average. I think Zach LaVine was looking really good, in preseason. I think he's a steal. He was probably going around 70 or so. Yeah, in most leagues, maybe a touch earlier. That could be a really good value. And that, I think otherwise the Bulls are destined for a top 5 pick this season.
Oh, I would agree. And seeing the minutes that we got from Jalen Smith out the gate as well, this is why we kind of had our eyes on Sticks as like a last round flyer, one of these guys you could pick up. Look, he did what he was going to do in those minutes today, but this is the opportunity that presents. And also because they don't really have any bloody one else in Chicago. Let's call it how it is. But it was encouraging. But Zach LaVine, good stat line for him. But again, around the 70s where you're expected to go. We could probably wrap that up in a tight little bow for these ones. But like we said, we covered the Pelicans early. The big news out of this game was the DeJounte Murray injury. There was no Zion. We got the experience with Daniel Tice playing center in only 18 minutes. This gave us some more Messi minutes. Now, this is what I liked about Yves Messi. Had some thoughts on him in the preseason. Last round target. I've already dropped Donovan Clingan in a league and picked up Messi. I picked Clingan up because, you know what, didn't see a lot. I just got him out of there. Go get him. Go get Clingan. People wanted him. I'm going to send out a trade for him in a league. Like, go get Clingan. It's not doing shit for me. But
Clingan's going to be your the second half of the season producer. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. And you know what? I took a last round flyer on him. Saw it today. I'm like, the Portland Trailblazers aren't going to impress. He's going to do something for me later. But if I maybe want to compete early, I can latch on to a Messi. 12 points, 7 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal, 3 blocks. Perfect from the free throw line. We're not always going to see that. 2 from 2 attempts. It only takes... This is the thing when we talk about this, bdub. I don't know if you're like me, but I need to see a guy get to the line 4 times a game because 2 is... I'm like a 4 free throw dude because just getting to the line wrong, even Damian Lillard, if he gets to the line twice, could possibly miss one and make him a 500 free throw shooter for the game. I like seeing the guys being able to get there 4 times and swing it in a net positive result over volume, up to 750, hit 3 of the 4. It's just like a little weird statistical thing that I look at in fantasy because that favors me greater because 50-50 free throws, just getting there for one foul a game when you go to the line, it makes it 50%, which is just bigger.
I think it's misleading. Yeah. I think it'd be quite misleading because you get you get 2 free throws, you make 1 of 2, and you look at that number 50%. But actually, if you had someone that got 7 out of 10 free throws, which is 70%. It looks better, but that is killing your free throw percentage
because of the volume.
Because of the volume. Whereas the 1 out of 2, like you've got, let's say Dame, you mentioned it before. Let's say he goes 12 for 12 and you've missed that one. You're still pretty sweet. So I think sometimes like the low volume bigs or the bigs that are shooting poor free throws, but it's super low volume, you can really just like, you can eat that if you've got guards that are high volume free throw.
100%. That's why, you know what? I might actually do it right now. I've done this with Kingy. I might even add Messi in a league right now live. Yeah. Because I just feel like it's something that I want to do. And I like to call my shot. I said the Klingon thing. I did it in another league. I picked him. Yeah. I'm going to pick up Messi. He's on waivers until the thing, which comes off. I'll just do it now. Oh, no, I'm not going to claim it off waivers. That's a wasted waiver pick because that league opens up. We drafted on Sunday night, and like it's going to be like we drafted because of the way that we did it on Tuesday night just before the league kicked off, like all to get hyped for the season, so we could roll the next line. But Yahoo doesn't let you do that. You've got to wait. You've got to wait till week 2. If you draft on Yahoo the day before the NBA kicks off, the default is that you must begin your season in week 2. Well, you can't move it. You cannot move it forward to week 1 on Yahoo. I'm going to talk to Titus about it. I'm not going to lie.
Mate,
we were mad
for everything.
Really? Only Fantrax?
Only Fantrax. Yeah, man, I started off on ESPN. I moved to Fantrax after a couple of years. It's been like a 10-year relationship with Fantrax at this point.
Can people in chat tell us what you're playing on? Because I know there was a survey that was out from one of the analysts online, and it was like Yahoo was the #1 app. And then I was very surprised to see the Fantrax game. I had a woeful Fantrax draft experience the other night with some lads.
Oh yeah.
It was lagging out. You couldn't see picks. We had to pause the draft at the turn because it was catching up. But the way that it is, it's really crafty, and I love the data in Fantrax. Like I think it's the best looking of all of them by far. Like
I think it's the best as commissioner, and that's my thing is like running all the leagues. So I have a high level of control on just every aspect of how things run. I do think the UX UI is really good. I'm disappointed to hear about your draft room experience, but I'm having a similar experience in the Southern Division of the World Cup, which is like Southern Conference, which is 12 divisions, 144 managers, and the draft room is bugging out a little bit. But usually I could just fix it up with a couple of tweaks. But when it's extrapolated,
no, pause it. From commish to commish. Pause it. Just log in there right now. Pause it. Refresh yours, and then watch it go nuts. It literally worked a treat the other day, and I had no idea why. We were all just laughing our asses off. Like, what are you doing? I'm like, pausing the draft. Why?
Oh, I won't go into all the details why what's going on. I think Eve Missy is playing Friday, Sunday. Sunday's definitely a low volume day. You sure you can fit him in on Friday?
Yeah,
I do think overall it is a good ad, but
should I do it in industry? Should I do it in industry pickup right now just to throw everybody?
Yeah, you can, but it's not like they're fab claims. So you'll put in your bid, and then you'll have to wait for it to process. You won't get the instant feedback.
Oh, I will do it on this show. I will add Eve Missy live on this podcast before we finish up there. Tell me someone who you've stuck out to you when you've been looking the last couple of days. I'm going to find a league that I haven't added Missy in yet and do it now.
Yeah, I added Miles McBride straight up in my home league. Yeah. I had the worst draft. I had pick 12 in that one as well. And I had Middleton and also Kelly Olynyk. Not like he would have just been cannon fodder anyway. Disappointed about Middleton, and I also had Vassell on that. So I'm going to have a very slow start to that season. But yeah, no, I pissed off Olynyk and chopped in Miles McBride. I've got another league which is a bit deeper. Who was I trying to add here?
Can I ask you a question on Miles McBride? Because I made a bit of a call out on Miles in the preseason. I said Miles McBride this year was good last year, obviously when the starters minutes when Brunson was out and after the trade. But I really think that he is the new Quickly for this team. Because if you think Quickly from a couple of years ago, what was his job before the Brunson and everything thing? He was a flamethrower off the bench to come in and generate offense, which they don't have much of in their second unit. The dude's a flamethrower, man.
Miles has already showed it, right? Like it's not theoretical with him. He can do it. He can put up numbers. It wasn't like it was a shit New York team down the end of last season. A few injuries, and but you know he can do it in a decent rotation. He's not like like Cam Thomas. I mean, maybe he is like Cam Thomas, but Cam Thomas is doing it on the Nets. He was doing it on the Knicks. I think he's got it. I took Miles in all sorts of leagues over the off season, like a lot of dynasty leagues where we were sort of doing our rookie/free agent drafts. I got a lot of hope that he's going to be a really serviceable player. I think downside is the stats are a bit hollow. There's no steals, there's no blocks. But, mate, he shot 80%. He's got 22 points. So it was 4 or 5 threes. I think that's a good ad. And then I don't know how deep your leagues tend to go, but I think Moses Moody had a really good off season. So I've got a fairly deepish league. And I'm trying to pick him up. I just need to wait for someone to get a red flag so I can chuck him in that IR, and so I don't have to drop someone to get him.
This is fair because I can do it right now. Can I present? I'm bringing up on the screen. I think I found a league that I can make a cheeky meaty. Here we go. I'll do it. Present, share screen. I'm going to see if I can workshop this with you, bdub. Let's see if I can squeeze him into my lineup to show you how high I am on him. Here we go. So I'll put him up on my screen. I've got him here ready to go. Now, Sam Hauser, I thought, I've got a beard.
I'm in this league with you, by the way. So as long as
this isn't no, I'm in the wrong one. Here we go. League. This isn't the
I
wrong
one. You've just got your 4 leagues running down the side there. You should see.
I do. This is yeah. No, I told you, man. I'm not a big fan tracks dude, but I'm getting into it. I'm commissioned too. You can see I've got the commission. I'm advocating for fan tracks. I had one bad experience. I'm not against it because then we went up and set our first ever Insight Dynasty League, which we're excited. We're going to draft for that this weekend. We've got our Premier League. This is me in the World Cup. I'm the Tickled Pinkies.
Okay.
You can see I've got
what conference
pinky in
you in? East.
East. I'm in East.
The not bugging out conference. Yeah.
The not bugging out conference. We start next week. I managed to use Pinky in the Brain, and then I've got the industry pickup one. But here we go. I'll go into my Insight one. I wonder if he's still available here. Maybe I shot the pooch because I looked in the wrong league. Oh no, he's there. I think I can add him straight. Oh damn it! No, I haven't. I've got to drop someone. Who's my roster on this one?
What did that say? Try and add him again.
Oh, am I getting? Is this a little hack for everyone who's doing it? Here we go. Players.
Maybe there's lots of little nuances. But
okay, so
read, like it throws you up an error. Read what it says. That's one thing I can really. What did this one say?
Claim will be effective period 3 for tomorrow. Censor into reserve.
Yeah,
maybe
put him in reserve. I'll chuck him in reserve. Yeah,
and go submit, and
the
then
reason
it goes.
For that is sorry, but okay, because period 3. All right, so dismiss that.
Yep.
All right, and then go back to your team roster.
Oh, this is.
Yeah.
Leave. I'm leaving. This is for anyone who's listening to this. This is incredibly important.
All right. Well, and then it says you have a illegal roster team 3, but is this a 14-man league?
Yeah, I've got a reserve. So I've got 2 guys in IR, and 1, 2, 3, 4.
Or is it 13?
5, 6,
13 roster spots.
8,
or
9,
14.
10, 11, 12. I've got 13. 13 roster spots.
I'll scroll down a bit more. I think can you only have 13 in this league? Is that it?
Yeah, you can only have 13 players and 2 are in IR.
Yeah. So you're gonna have to drop someone, which should be. I don't know what's Rui doing here lately.
Rui was good the other day.
Was he?
Rui was good.
Not a
Yeah,
fan.
get me the rebounds. Look, I'm not
You know
a fan.
who
But I
was
like,
good is Dyson. 5 steals, 1 block. I reckon you're gonna get that. He's gonna be all defense this season. I reckon. That's where
look at
Kingy
it.
was right on the old Dyson Daniels.
He hit Kingy hit absolute jackpot there. That was an absolute brilliant one. And my other mate, who I was high on this year in the preseason, Derek White, looking fantastic. I've got to come good on Jordan Poole. I've got to come good on Jordan Poole.
He's going to kill this season. Yeah, Jalen's going to kill too. No, you got to. Yeah, it's Hauser,
pretty good team,
or it's Gary Trent. Just one of those two.
Yeah, Gary Trent was pretty.
Yeah, I mean, well, why did you draft him? You drafted him because he gets 2 steals again.
Nah, you know what? I'm keeping Hauser. I'm going to keep Hauser. Yeah, I've got him for the steals. I'm going to. Oh, I actually am confused by this because he's playing tomorrow against Washington, and we know that he's going to be absolutely. They're going to. The Celtics are going. I don't know what the overs are tomorrow, but I almost want to put +20 on because if that was what they did
tomorrow, because the starters will play like 25 minutes each.
Exactly right. So
the bench unit will play like the full game. Yeah,
this
I
is the
just get rid of
strategy.
Gary. Honestly, Gary and Hauser, that's your bench, right? You're just going to rotate through those anyway. You pick Gary up.
It didn't really impress me much. And Chris Middleton still has to return. I need another center in this league. I've got Horford. I've got Jokic. It's only a 1 center league, but I would like to bump this flex spot a little bit because Hartenstein is in there. So let's do it live. Let's go players. I will 100% add old mate Messi. I wasted a black pick. That's the thing which fucking bites my nuts. When you put it, because I like him, but I will drop. Continue to drop Gary Trent Jr.
How many leagues do you play in?
This year I've cut myself back to 9.
Okay.
This year is 9.
I've got 15 this season.
You're a madman.
12.
Gary Doyd.
Yeah, well, they're all mostly dynasty. Yeah.
I actually think that I might be okay this way. I might just take out Hauser.
Yeah, well.
I want the steals. I want the steals. I want the steals.
But like, scroll up again, and click on schedule all the way up. There should be a button that says schedule there. There you go. Schedule week. Yeah. So let's have a look and see what's coming up with your games. So all right, Gazza's got 2 games left for the week. Sammy's got. This is
2. Up until Sunday. He's got 1.
Yeah.
Oh, he's got 2.
That's Brunson, yeah.
I got 2 too. Rui's got 2. Yeah. They've all got 2 games. I
do
need a center
next week and then see if you made the right call. How many pickups do you get per week with this league?
I think this one's unlimited. Oh no, here we go. Claims this week 2. So, Jesus, only 3. Whew.
Yeah.
Bugging me sideways. This is a tight one. No, you know what? I'm going to do Messi because it's a long play. And I picked up already Rui for the week, and I picked up Hauser for the week. They both come good, and this is where we have to attack it like this. So when we're in it, let's go scoring. My opponent today had a lot of games. He had a big slate compared to me. Puzzle Sports. So we are here 3-6 by the end of the day. You can see he pummeled me today. Look at he had green, just points boys, Ja Morant, Tobias Harris, Jeremy Grant. And I only had Trent and a woeful shooting Norman Powell out there on my behalf with Dyson and Garland, who did not have a very good game. And look at the roster he had down 1, 2, 3, 4. So I know this is the great thing when we look at our schedules as well. I didn't panic today seeing this because I break it down to when it's going to be the next day. So I look at my next day and I look at my games 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, including my first Jokic game. It is against 2 excellent players here in Tatum and Fox, but this is where I know that I'm looking at very good results in the end. So I might pick up Messi.
Who's and I'm going to drop. Is this all your IFS guys?
This is some of the IFS guys and punters and listeners. So I'm literally, by the time I go back into players right now, I could probably someone could be watching this going like, what's he doing? And they could have just added their worst bloke. Because again, I drafted pretty well in this league. So I think I've got a pretty good squad, but I am going to let.
You know who's coming up as a free agent there that I reckon could be on a lot of rosters
Who's
pretty
that?
soon. He was what's going on there? Why wouldn't let you? Oh, you got to drop.
I did a semi-claim. Yeah, okay, here we go.
Is it?
I'm going to get rid of Rui because we all know Rui is not going to. We all know that Jared Vanderbilt's going to come back. We know that it's going to be short-lived. He's playing against those guys tomorrow. I need points. I need threes. I don't think
he got
Rui's
2 steals in that game, and that's probably like that's it for the rest of the year. The rest of the like till Christmas.
Thank you very much. We now have Eve. Welcome aboard, Eve Missy. There we go. There he is. We did it. We got there.
If you go back to your available players, it's the Brooklyn lad.
Jalen Wilson.
Jalen Wilson. I reckon he could be on plenty of rosters very quickly. Maybe a bit speculative for 14-team leagues at the moment, but I wouldn't be surprised if he's a solid contributor.
And let's call it how it is. Summer League MVP Jalen Wilson.
Yeah, that's right.
This is what he does. I'm actually more surprised to see Jordan Clarkson sitting around because today was a really Jesus. Do I pick up Jordan Clarkson instead of Gary Trent?
Doesn't excite me at all.
Doesn't excite me at all.
You've only got one roster move left now.
I do, but I like to burn
it. Yeah.
Oh, I don't mind. See, this is the thing. I don't mind losing week one. Week one for me is an absolute fine.
You know what it's about, though. You're gonna have someone in that league panic drop someone.
Oh yeah.
You don't want to be without a pickup at that point. Anyway, man, that's my philosophy. First week or two, you can get some really strange action on
as commissioner. I'll crack that beer. Is the can I ask this one? Aneka Okongwu today. This is one of the other ones I wanted to have a bit of a chat with you. Absolutely blistering Aneka Okongwu game today. This bloke again. This was the interesting thing. It was against the team that we're talking about, Jalen Wilson and the Brooklyn Nets. This was against a team that we didn't expect them to do much of anything, the Brooklyn Nets. But Cam Johnson, respectable enough, what Cam does, low thing, he'll be better than this. 25 minutes basically for Ben Simmons, 6, 5, and 8. Love to see that for Ben Simmons. High field goal percentage. Jalen Wilson, as you said, as the sixth man, a burner. Not a lot of Clowney minutes. Keon Johnson getting some, all these other guys we don't really care about. But the big thing was today, Jalen Johnson. So this is what I want to point out. Jalen Johnson did not play a good Jalen Johnson game today. And he was a guy that a lot of people were really invested in. Now, what we see as sexy from Jalen is the 4 stocks. We see the 3 steals. We love that. We love the 1 block from him. We love the 10 rebounds and the 4 assists. It's a complete line. Like the bloke has filled it up. But points at the sexy girl at the party in the red dress, you're like, oh, look at those points. Like Trae Young, 30 points, 5 rebounds, 12 assists. That's sexy. But then you see the 44% efficiency from Jalen. You see the 11 points, and you might be able to, if he has a couple of these low point scoring games, reap the reward of that from someone who doesn't. Or even like Bogdan Bogdanovic, who sucked today. Like he didn't have a good one. But the money man here was Aneka Okongwu. The starters minutes, the 28 minutes, man, this is really good to see. 28 points, 8 rebounds, 1 assist, 3 block shots, 11 from 12. He is not going to be a 91%. The 2 best shooters in the NBA right now, the 2 best field goal efficiency blokes on the floor are Jalen Duren or Aneka Okongwu right now, pretty much.
I picked him up at 140.
Love that.
In World Cup.
Yeah, I love that. Oh, look at this. See, I had him in my sights for a big man after 100 in every single league that I went to pick him up in. He was taken. Someone just picked him up at about 105 or 110, and he was even in my queue to come back along. And every single league, Okongwu was taken.
Couldn't believe it. 140. You can see my build. Doncic, Mitchell.
Wow.
Quickly Giddy, Poole. It's a punt field goal build.
It is.
But at 140, I was all right. I'll take the rebounds and the upside, and no.
And you'll bury, and no trades in this league. So you put obviously is that Valanciunas? Yep, that's great. Good pick. Good pickup for him. And who's that? A Kongwu at 140.
Yeah. Not gonna. I mean, at a certain point when it gets there, it's like you just take him off the board so someone else doesn't. Like
that's what I was trying to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, and and he's gone in every single league. I have to see. I don't think I got him in. I'm 100%.
He's gone 5 rounds earlier, and I mean I don't think there's that much difference in value between them, honestly.
I know that I was pissed at Dan Titus over at Yahoo for taking him, so I know that I didn't get him in industry pickup. I'm looking now. I don't think I'm looking through. I don't have him in anything. And he was one guy on my board every single time he came around to me, even in the ball page leagues, which are like 11 category leagues, 20 players deep. I'd be sitting there and I'd be coming back. And I'm like, oh yeah, I'm going to be able to get a Kongwu. And then he would just go from my queue, like a pick or two before me. And I would absolutely get beaten. But that wasn't a brilliant game. But it was the great thing here is the starters. Oh, here we go. Question in chat. Hey guys, quick one. Add Eve Missy or Trey Mann. Well, Shane, can you add both of them? They play different positions. So it's like add both. I don't know what you're doing, Shane. Add both of them right now because they both play different things. If you have that amount of ads to make,
drop in the chat your 2 worst guys, Shane, and I'll tell you if they're worth dropping for.
Yeah, if you just put down like the guys who were like your last picks in your draft, the guys who you don't want, and do it that way. I'm literally like going to go into another league now. I'm going to do the other one because I can just when the waivers lift, and I'm going to get in there and get old mate. But yeah, drop that in, Shane, because I think they play different roles. And I think what you're looking there is you're looking at 2 really strong ads by dropping out your worst guard or your worst mid player, like small forward, power forward, or your worst center. Like you pick up I would drop Donovan Clingan, like you said, for an Eve Missy right now if he's going to be getting the minutes.
What was your favorite pick in this? In
your draft? I'm going to make it big.
Industry pickup.
Oh, you're bringing up. This is industry pickup.
Yeah.
Oh, this is ours. This is ours. Oh, this is the first time I'm seeing my team. Well, it's sometimes Matrix on Insight says sometimes it's not about what you spend, it's what you save. It's one of his favorite sayings. And I think I didn't spend my pick, but I managed to save it, the trade for Tyrese Halliburton and Anthony Davis. Knowing that I was getting AD and pairing him with Chet straight away, I really love that. But for me, I was a really big fan of picking up Lauri Markkanen in the 3rd round. And I think that's what I saw today. I really, because I know that Lauri, and I think you'd agree, B, he's a top 20, he's a top 25 fantasy player. So that for me tells me that if he's in an industry league that this is this intense and he gets there, I took a massive flyer on Saar only because I wanted to lock in blocks, because I wanted to put those blocks with I wanted to put those blocks in with AD and Chet. So that's why I picked up Saar a little bit early.
I think that's fair. But speaking of Saar, our mate Shane T says his worst 3 players are Strawther, Keldon, Johnson, and Saar. And this is the guy that was thinking about Eve Missy and Trey Mann. I would say there, mate, piss off Strawther, piss off Keldon Johnson, and pick up Eve Missy and Trey Mann and hold on to Saar. You can see exactly as we're talking about here. Matty G just took Saar in this league 10-7. So what's that? That's about 114.
Yep.
So he's worth holding on to. The 100%. Other 2, Keldon Johnson's not even drafted in this league. No. And, he'll give you some points and fuck all else, basically. Saar, keep him. Wait and see what he at least does tomorrow. I actually reckon, to your point, exactly what you were saying before, Matty, blocks, probably going to be pretty average on the field goal percentage. Few assists.
Yep.
Boards.
Few assists, boards. He can hit free throws at a reasonable enough rate. He will get there better and he can hit them. I picked him up and I've only got him in a couple of leagues that fitted the build. but I wasn't overpaying because he played well in the preseason, and I wasn't paying preseason tax. I'm not going to get sold down the lake, but I know who has him in a couple of leagues, and I'm going to trade for him if I need to get those kind of stats. But me, man, I like Saar. I don't think he's and the thing is this, the one B's straight on the money, Shane. Straight up, get the fuck Keldon Johnson out your league right now. You get him the fuck out of there. Use that as a streaming spot. Pick up Misia right now. Like Shane, that was not the right advice for you, my man. You can listen to me and DM me. You can DM bdub on Twitter. You can hit us up at X. Never draft Keldon Johnson again, my brother. But I don't mind your Strather pick. Now I know we said to drop him, but he hasn't managed to play yet. And I do like what he has the potential to do in Denver. Now, and this is where you've got to be really reflexive in fantasy, Shane, because Strather, if he plays well tomorrow, he's going to be gone off your wire. You don't know what's going on. You know, Trey Mann hit today and he did some good backup minutes. People might not rush to him as much in your league because Brandon Miller went out. So that's where his opportunity came to really get those extra points today. Oh, by the way, B-Dub, I want to go back to your team and see who yours is. And I do have another answer on my favorite. But just to make Shane, to give you the best advice, Shane, instead of just saying, oh, do this, do that. Well, Keldon Johnson, you're fucking him off. You're picking up Misi straight away. I think people will be quicker to pick up a big man to be able to give you those stats than they will Trey Man, because we can always ride the white wire for hot guys for points and threes. But get rid of Johnson and do that, my man. So that one there. And also my other big pick, I really liked Norman. I really liked it in it was my last pick, to be fair. I didn't mind Rozier and Simmons for the points around there. Anthony Simons, sorry. Didn't mind those in this one. And I think Garland was my red herring because people were thinking that I was doubling down. I literally made the Garland pick as a red herring pick. Because people were going to be thinking that I was taking assist off the board, not knowing that I had traded Halliburton, and they might be scared. And that was actually a tactical draft. So I was making basically everyone thinking that I was doubling down on assists and going for guys like Quickly, Halliburton, and Garland, and making people take assists and taking risk on their field goal percentage, knowing I'd actually locked that up and my blocks and my rebounds and my points with AD. So that was my swing there. But the fact that I picked up Karis LeVert in the last round, it was only because the news of the Maxi Strus injury happened just after the pick of Next Level Fantasy. And then I was like, well, Karis LeVert's going to play a lot of minutes. Well, and you can see this. Yes,
this looked like one of your top picks.
Yeah. It really did, because
Karis, he'll put out for
he'll put out on a first date. That's what he'll do.
Yeah, or he'll put out for who's out? Why is he getting lots of minutes again? Oh, it's Strus. Yeah,
Strusy. Exactly. Yeah, Maxi.
Yeah, he'll put out till Christmas.
Yeah, 100%.
Going back to Shane T. I mean, wait till tomorrow if you want to add man, but I reckon Strawther's going to do fuck all tomorrow.
See, this is the thing. I think, and you can look even on this one in the industry pickup. Noah Rubin picking up Christian Brown there in the 14th round with that fourth pick on the way back around.
Well, Braun's going to start.
That's it. So we know Braun's going to start. We know he's going to get that. We know Westbrook's in there, but Christian hasn't played well yet. So I'm of the opinion that Strather could play himself into some more minutes. And it's like one of my gut feelings on him. He's done really, really well in the preseason, and that doesn't dictate everything. But the fact that he's really active, he's long, he's rangy, and he's athletic is something that they don't really have in the Denver Nuggets, and they need that to be successful. So for me, that's where he gets a little bit of more burn there. So that's what I reckon you should do. Yeah, that's what I mean.
Mike Malone will just revert to being Mike Malone, and all these new guys will get nothing. And if he can work his way into some minutes, great. But I think he's sort of even like further down the pecking order from like a Peyton Watson. And then Brown, okay, he's going to start, but he's going to give you like Contavious Caldwell-Pope type numbers. Like, I get a lot of minutes, shoot a free threes, might get a steal, low points, low everything else. I think you stick with the known quantities in Denver. That's my 2 cents.
Can
I'll
I?
also comment on your Markkanen pick. I reckon you could have got Markkanen in the next round.
Really?
Yeah, I reckon these guys that we're drafting against, they're almost sometimes, I don't know, I don't want to get in trouble, but they're like too clever for their own good sometimes. And Markkanen will get shut down right toward the end of the season, like possibly when the finals are on. After All-Star, he'll be sitting out every second game. And I think this group that you got to know who you're drafting against. And I think this group, they will deprioritize those types of players like quite heavily. He might not have got all the way back around to you, but I think he could have.
I think I have a sneaky suspicion that I have a chance. But
in this league?
I've got a chance in this league. I think quite a few teams. I think this is everyone has one because again, like you said, they are smart and savvy, and I think it just takes really playing well to even get close. As you said, it's the top half, and I don't know. Like I couldn't really see. Like I just want to be stronger in some areas, and I look down this, and I think like I gave away a lot of assists, so I probably need to get some back. But I've got some good assist guys at the same time, like my Garland and Quickly. In there, and Rozier, I think is going to, he's good for the Heat. Like, he's already played good basketball today, especially when guys like, the lead dudes for the Miami Heat, like Bam Adebayo and Jimmy Butler, don't play well against the Orlando Magic, who and Paolo, another one of Kingy's favorites, having a top 10 fantasy game, putting up 33, 11, 3, excellent efficiency. 83% from the free throw line, looked great. And here's little Terry Rozier, 19 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists, and 2 block shots. That is a classic Rozier line, and I absolutely love that. He was the best player on this team today.
Tezza.
Oh, Tezza was 100%. Tezza was absolutely.
I didn't catch that game. I caught up on most.
It was because it's the Orlando Magic and they never get streamed. Orlando Magic 116-97. The Miami Heat. Orlando Paolo just put on a clinic. Franz Wagner, really good bounce back effort from him. 3 from 6 from deep. 23 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals, and a block. Really filled it up. 62% efficiency from Franz. That's what we wish we had last year, obviously, because we didn't get that all the time with Franz. But we would have loved more of that from him last season. Very mundane line from KCP. This was horrible from KCP. 0 from 5 from the floor. He got 2 blocks and 1 steal. That's great, but the ranking there just horrible. Suggsy, decent game. Anthony Black is the new Cole Anthony off the bench from these guys because Cole Anthony stunk it up. 0 from 7. But Paolo was absolutely goated. But Jimmy Butler, 3 points, 1 from 8. Like that's horrible. Like all the rest of that, the filling up the box score might be decent there. Jovic, decent game from Jovic. Really good to see him getting some run. Undrafted in a lot of leagues. Could definitely be a bit of a run there. Bam Adebayo, Tyler Hero, Bam, 9 points, 5 rebounds. But the good news was Rozier. Now, and this was the funny thing. He was inefficient, but 7 from 7 from the line. Love that from Scary Terry. If he can make 3 more shots a game, 8 from 15 would have been great. Obviously, it's plus 500. Let's make he makes 2 more shots and he's like 450 from the thing. And 2 of those are his threes. He's already on a 25-point player, a 22-point player, 6 rebounds, 5 assists, and the 2 block shots from Scary. Love that. Hey, that's our names. What are you doing? Look how tight this is.
Standings for our industry pickup.
Oh, there we go.
Your team does look good. It's coming out number 2.
Okay.
Yeah. You can see my team just right below yours. Look at that for a punt.
That's because you took all of the rebounds, assists, steals, blocks, and field goal percentage off the board.
Yeah, and I've got like minus 10 on free throw percentage and minus 12 on threes. This doesn't usually bode well. I think I prefer a bit more of a balanced approach. But look at you. You've got a hard punt too, assists and field goals. Can't believe that's your assist number when you have all those assist guys.
Well, neither can I. But I got rid of Halliburton.
I would have thought that you were. Oh yeah, I guess you did get rid of Halliburton, didn't you?
I do. But I've still got. I've got Quickly in there, Garland in there, Rozier in there, Simons.
You almost want to just jack off Quickly and Garland. Like when I say jack them off, I mean like trade them, obviously.
Oh no, I'm hoping that's what you meant. I'm not going to lie. Otherwise, it's a little bit saucy. Otherwise, it's a little bit saucy.
Get a few more steals and blocks, maybe.
I could.
And get your points up.
Hey, I know someone who has steals and blocks and points, guys. I could, if you want to give me your punting points, if you want to trade me one of your best punt players, the G Whizzles is perpetually open for business. bdub, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
You know me. I love a good trade.
Yeah. Well, I hadn't. In all of the industry drafts, that is. I think you were the first one to make a trade. In terms of my team, I think taking Scotty at 13 was a bit ambitious. But punting points, why not? You can see my highest ranked player is by these basketball monster metrics, 28 and 36. That's
you got DeJounte as well.
Yeah, I'll just put on this punt turnovers. I never look at turnovers. I just disregard them. I think it really just distorts what the true value is. But yeah, 22, 24. DeJounte injured for 16 games. That's gonna kill me.
It is.
I think. Yeah. Cade looked really good today.
I was gonna offer you a trade for him.
Yeah. Wow.
I'd almost want to.
What did Claxo do today? 15 minutes. I guess he's come back from injury, isn't he?
Yeah, he is.
17-5, still on the block. Got ejected. Yep. Okay, all right.
No, he was out of there. Yeah,
got ejected with 8 minutes left. You use this tool, Basketball Monster?
Occasionally, I get to dabble around with it. I don't get to deep dive as much as you, but I got to hit up Void and get myself a membership.
Yeah, it's good. I even saw with your fan tracks. You've got the ads all over the place, mate. $5, get rid of them. Get rid of them for 3 years for $5. I think you do.
Is it 3 years for 5? Jeez.
Oh, I don't know what it is. Something like that. Yeah. Armin Thompson. What did we say he did? He played.
He was good today.
20 minutes tonight.
20 minutes, yeah. If he gets unleashed for more, mate, that's a really good pick.
Yeah, I was hoping he'd be closer to like 29 minutes, and I was hoping that he'd be closer to putting up the Ben Simmons triple double, 12 points, 8 rebounds, 9 assists. I reckon he can get there, and soon. Dude is an athletic specimen.
Can you tell me in your punt build, because this is what we should really clarify, and I know that you can do this on here. Player values based on your punt.
Yeah.
What would Alex Sarr be in the value of him in your punt? I'm really curious to know because he would be.
I don't trade based on the value of players in my punt. I'm more inclined to do it based on the value of players in your punt.
Fair, especially in an industry league.
Yeah,
I'm just curious to see the person's player's value when it alters that much because of those significances. Because we talk about this quite a lot and how player values change. I think it's really interesting. And again, I know that you would never send me a trade that you weren't going to win, hands down.
Why does everyone think that? All right, he's 67 in my punt.
That's massive. That's a massive jump. And then what's a Cade Cunningham like in that punt for you?
Cade would be less than that, 70.
There you go. This is the crazy thing. So we look at these players and when we invest our picks on them. And so this is, I guess, we can wrap up tonight. We've been on this for almost an hour. And this is what we can say. When we're looking to make our trades, you can't, like bdub said, you don't panic. You have a look around. Don't freak out. Know your player's value based on your punt and make sure that you're getting something back that can feed your build and make you better, make you more competitive. And you know what? What's great? Win fucking win. Win for you, win for them, win for everybody. That's what a trade should ultimately do. Because you know what? You're not trying to deliberately tank your opponent's season. Like, you shouldn't trade to tank someone else's team, because you can both be good, because things are going to change. Like, basketball fantasy it's an ever revolving door. B, this as well as I do. People's values change. There's injuries. We can't predict these things. So if we can both come out of trades always in a good way, especially early in the season, great. But don't freak out. Don't make any panic trades. And, mate, like and subscribe to all things FBI Basketball International and Insight Fantasy Sports. Those are your 2 tips.
Yeah, and look, I think, just to round off on like those sort of trade ideas, you can always build trades that work for both sides. But when you're adding those valuations into like a tool like Basketball Monster, something that can be a bit misleading there is the value of certain categories, because what that tool does is it weights all the categories the same value, but something like assists, something like points, they're harder to come by. So in that build, Ben Simmons, I can see on my screen, ranked 27th.
Oh, 100%.
Which is like, 30 spots higher than Cade in that build. But, he's not giving me points, or, he's not giving me assists, or, well, maybe Ben Simmons is. But yeah, I think you gotta take those types of things into account too.
100%. Hey, bdub, thank you so much for joining us. Kingy and I'll be back. Hey, a bit of an announcement as well. We are moving the crossover to Tuesday nights from next week because of Kingy's basketball commitment. So you can catch us live here on FBI Basketball International and on Insight Fantasy Sports, both on our YouTubes. And next week, I think we're playing the home on X, and then you guys get it the week after. We're going to split up during the course of the season. Make sure you like and subscribe to all things bdub does. He is the Grand Commissioner Lord General, is the official title that we've given him. It's of all things World Cup. It's an absolutely massive task, mate. By the way, on behalf of myself and everyone, just for like the World Cup competition, thank you. It's a massive task, and you're doing a bloody great job.
Thanks, mate. Yeah, it's a lot of work, but a lot of happy participants, and make sure you get through to the next round, because that's where the fun really starts, mate. When you're doing a redraft in late Jan, and you're down to what would it be? I don't know. I think it's around 48 managers. Yeah, 48 divisions, 48 managers. That's when it really gets spicy.
So you got to win your division to get through.
Win your division, you get through. You're down to 48. It's 4 groups of 12. Then the top 3 out of each of those 4 phase 2 divisions gets through to the final 12-team league. So you could potentially be doing your 3rd draft. That would be crazy. Early March. Yeah,
mate. It's
I got 3 last season.
You did?
Wild. Yeah.
Massive.
And then if you get through as well, you get to play in the Champions League, which is what I'm playing in now. So that's also.
How many categories are you punting there?
Well, it's 30 something teams.
Wow.
In the Champions League, and the way that we set it up this year is it's all just one big league, and I think it's like 8-man rosters, or 8-man rosters. So it's very deep. So I got pick 2. So I got Wemby, but then I got pick 70 or something as my next pick. And then it was 3rd round reversal. So then my next pick after that was like, 130 or something like that. So
3rd round reversal. I'm not down with 3rd round reversal yet, because this is why in leagues like that.
You have to do it though when it's so deep. Yeah. Otherwise,
when it's so deep.
Yeah. But every single one of those managers in that league won their division. Like, they're all just sharks, like
crazy.
Yeah, good.
That would just give me constant anxiety, but I want it next year, because that'll just be fun. That'll be the one league I play in all year long. Hey guys, thank you very much, everyone, for listening and tuning in. Thank you very much for joining in, cracking those beers with us. We'll catch you all again soon. Take care, everybody.
See yous.